Welcome back, everyone, to the PPHL. or- Welcome, everyone, to the PPHL's Challenger Division Draft Night. Tonight marks a second wave of rising stars stepping into the spotlight. Every pick tonight has the power to shift the season, spark rivalries, and define the future of this division. Let's get ready to shape the next generation of the PPHL. In the booth tonight with me, Cap, Cavi, Zoom, and Tigglebits. I'm going to hand it over to the Cap to introduce himself.
Guys, it's your favorite striker over at PPHL, part of the Boston Bullets. I'm glad to be here and glad to talk over some of my top prospects that we have tonight. For you, Cavi.
Hey everybody, it's Cavi. I'm the GM for the Montauk Mariners. Excited to be here. Excited to see some of the upcoming talent that we've got here that have been playing in the Ponce servers for a long time. So, yeah, we'll see who goes where.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we're gonna get started off here soon, guys. Have you guys anything else you want to add before we get begin in here and start that timer?
Yeah, I think there's a slight change to some things that have occurred recently. I believe the Commissioner Zoom is going to hop in here in a second to explain what happened.
Yeah, so community favorite Troutman is going to be the new manager of the Thunder Bay Frost. Could potentially be changed to a different branding in the coming days. The former manager kind of disappeared an hour before draft time, so we had to find somebody we thought was capable. And big shout out to him for stepping up because it's a big role to fill with a little time to ask. So hoping he does his best tonight, and we're very confident in him moving forward. But that obviously means he'll be off the board as he'll be playing for his own team.
All right. Well, now that we got that sorted out, if we want to flip to the top 10 for forwards, we're gonna take a peek at potential picks that could go off the board early here in the first round. Um, all right, guys. Here's the top 10. Dylan, #1 pick. I think that's a great choice. Cavi, thoughts?
Yeah, I think that there's a good shot Prado is going to go up here. I know Cap, you had him up there. He recently reached out and said his availability isn't going to be good, which is why he's fallen off the top of the leaderboard here.
So, Prada, yeah, originally for the longest time was towards the top of my list. Big playmaker, love him. Changed it around to Dylan at the top. Obviously, need a great goal scorer to rely on to make some of those plays. And some a little bit controversial, but we have Paul Carrier, but bad, dropping to the 3 after some say he might have been snubbed at the Premier Draft. So drops a little bit on my ranking.
Definitely a top pick for sure here moving the forwards. Let's move over to the defenders one now. Let's see who we got over there for tonight's pick. Some familiar faces. I see Prada there at #1, but some other new faces there. Definitely excited to see them. Out of this list, guys, who do you think is for sure going to be the #1 defensive pick for tonight's draft?
Originally, Cav was almost drafted to the Premier. If you want to give a little bit of a situation about that, Cavi.
Yeah, a lot of people confused Cav and I. Apparently, our names are too close. So thought he's a great vibes guy. He's solid in his own end, and he'll be a good pick for whoever grabs him. I think just looking at this list in terms of defenseman, is at 5. I might have him a little higher. You don't see him a ton in the servers, but when he is there, he's very solid in his own.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. I played against him a few times, and man, he is a difficult man to get past. Let me tell you. But let's go ahead and take a look at the top 10 goalies. Let's see what we're looking at here. All right. Some names right off the board that stand out to me. Far for sure. Sun, average. Oh, we got some good names up there. What do you guys think were your top picks?
Yeah, I think without a doubt, if you've played any sort of pugs around here and you've seen Farf around, it's shown that his level very well could have gone in the Premier. So he'll be by far, in my eyes, the top prospect down here, as well as some sleeper picks that we have around here. Obviously, Troutman would have been the #1 if he had to fill in as manager, but we made our quick adjustments.
I looked down the list a little bit. I see a couple names down there that I think are going to be good picks. Salty, somebody that I see in the servers a lot, and he tends to have pretty good games.
All right.
Yep.
Well, that kind of wraps it up for our top 10 overall picks. I'm sure managers are raving to get going. So whenever we're ready here in the booth, let's go ahead and let's start that timer. And we are off.
Any
So,
predictions we have?
I mean, I don't know who's going to go first. It could go in a few different directions, but I mean, who do you think, Cap? Who do you think Tampa Bay Flamingos really needs right now off the board?
I will say it will be more attack minded. I do have the insider knowledge of who it will be, so
Oh, you do?
I may have heard some rumors.
Well, hopefully they get
It is our favorite good boy, Mr. Dog.
dog. He's a dog. All right, almost down to 1 minute remaining here for the first pick on the challenge drafts. If you guys want to put in the chat, who do you guys think is going to be number one while we wait for the draft to be announced?
What position is Dog signed up to play as?
I'd say he's more of a defensive.
So he's
defensive
almost certainly
member.
looking forward here, I
One
would
of those-
imagine.
Yeah, one of those top strikers.
I mean, you can't go wrong with any of these guys. I think Big Snoop is somebody that I would definitely consider. I know he's not going to go here probably, but he's somebody I would be looking
great
at
guy.
even in the first round here.
Looks like the pick is in. We will be dragging him in to announce his pick. Good afternoon, Dog. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling like I have a good plan for this draft and everything like that. So, yeah.
Love to
Am
hear.
I? Yep.
Would you give us the honors of who you will be taking?
Yes, of the inaugural PPHL Challenger Draft, I and the Tampa Bay Flamingos will be taking Big Snoop. Yes,
Okay, thank
great
you.
guy on and off the ice. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dog, and we'll move on to the next draftee here. I'll let you pronounce that one there, Kavi, for me.
I'm not doing that, but what I will say is that Snoop going first overall doesn't surprise me. The guy's an absolute animal on the server. He's a great player, good teammate, a guy you want on your team for sure. There's some other guys on this list that may be more talented, but yeah, it doesn't surprise me to see him going this early.
Yeah, as far as Ponce Puckers go, he is one of those top guys. He almost made his way onto my roster. I'll tell you that. He is a animal. He can find any of the open slots you want. He is a great striking partner.
I'm thinking forward here for most of the upcoming picks. I believe that the GM of the current is Wild Goat Soup. Is that a
Yes.
goalie?
Yes, and it
Yeah,
looks
so
like
they already have
looks
their.
like the pick is in as well. We will be bringing him in. Hello, Wild Goat Soup. How are you doing?
Great.
Over here, will you give us the great honors of announcing your first round pick?
With the second overall pick in the PPHL Challenger Draft, and the first pick in franchise history, the Kuskokwim Currents will select Kit.
Ooh, great pick, great pick. Well, thank you.
Yeah, another
Give
top
us-
forward off the board. I mean, it's going to be a lot of forwards that we're looking at. Could we actually, while we're waiting here, it looks like Thunder Bay is on the clock. Could we take a look at those top forwards again and see who's available? You still have Dylan up there. Paul Kyria is another guy who's really good. Prada's going to go eventually. It's just a matter of the availability. Is there anybody down the list that you're looking at, Cap, that might sneak up here?
Oh, I'm seeing if
Sylvie is a great pick that could be a great game changer. Really good on the puck,
I mean, you
Great
got
guy.
Louis in there too. He played on the Buffalo Bayou Bridge Bats over in the PHL, and I know he's a good forward. And, I mean, you've seen Hood Legend. We saw him out over in the combines. Has some great forward mentality there, being able to move the puck around the offensive zone. Who else on this list? We got Baggins, great forward. The Harry Wookie. He's been on the Frostburg Ice Daddies over the PHL last season. He did really well out there. As you can see, he had 21 points that season. All right. I think we got the next pick in here. We're going to get him in the booth and have him announce his pick.
For this one, Zoom will be announcing the third overall pick.
Yeah, thank you guys. With the third overall pick, the Thunder Bay Frost will be selecting Pack.
Cool. Another great forward that very good on the puck. It's a great shot on him, especially with our increased puck speed and smaller puck. Can really find any sort of angle in that net.
Pack, somebody that I was looking at in the later rounds of the Premier Draft. There were some other decisions that were made that led us to not drafting Pack, but great pick here. I mean, an obvious offensive talent for the league, and he'll be doing good stuff.
The Cleveland Hitmen on the clock here now at 1:30 left. What do we think they're going to pick for their first round? Is it going to be forward? Is it going to be a defensive man?
I'd like to say a lot of this draft has very high, a lot of good still forwards left that will control some of the tempo. So
it seems in the Challenger, a lot of the offensive output's going to be guys who are forwards. A lot of your D men down here are your kind of stay at home types, and it's just like you're better off picking at forward. We look over the D men list here, and there are some playmaking D men here. You see Shabbat's on here. A couple of the guys, as you just look through the list, have some pretty good numbers, but I can't imagine really going D-man this early unless you are, one of the GMs who is a D-man, or I'm sorry, is a forward, might try and maybe take Shabbat. Prada obviously plays at both positions, but again, we're having availability issues there, so I that's a more complicated question.
All right, the pick is in for the Cleveland Hitmen. Are we going to have Zoom announce? Or are we going to bring him in?
I believe Canty will be coming in to announce this, so we will bring them on in. Hello, Canty. How are you doing?
Hello, Canty.
Hopefully.
And select Dylan.
Cool.
Oh wait, can you hear me yet? Okay.
We
Yep.
heard
My
enough
mic-
to.
Okay, hold on. With the fourth overall pick, the Cleveland Hitmen pick Dylan.
Thank you.
You. Well, there he goes off the board, Dealand. We knew he was going to go in the first round for sure. We just didn't know where. And the Cleveland Hitmen, he goes.
Another great forward taken off the boards. Another one of the best points per game players we have. I believe he is just sitting under 2 points per game on the Ponce servers.
Yeah, pretty incredible stuff there. You go over at the stats from the PHL, from the Icebreakers at about 1.5 as well per game. Another just offensive talent. Should be a pretty strong start for building Cleveland out. As we move forward and we move on to Orlando here, I mean, we're just going to keep looking at forwards. I think it's really not going to make. I honestly don't even think it makes much of a difference what the position of the GM is at this point. You got to add offense first. I mean, Paul Kariya is right there. He's a guy who can put goals up for a team. So I can see him going. You guys were talking about Sully and Louis. Guy I see on the board now, Mixed T. As far as availability, I'm not sure. That guy is a monster on the puck. He can put him in the back of the net. He can make plays. If he's available to play for you, he is a guy that I absolutely would try and get as soon as possible.
The pick has been selected. It looks like we'll be bringing in Jamiro Kai Lover to announce his pick. How's it going, Jamiro?
Yo,
How are you doing on this afternoon?
I'm doing great.
Excited for the draft? All your picks?
Oh,
No, you probably lost your first overall pick with Trout there.
Trout was the franchise. Even though I was probably going to pick him like third or fourth round, but still, Trout was the franchise.
Sorry, we had to do that to you. But whenever you're ready, feel free to announce your pick.
So with our fifth overall pick, I mean, if you've seen me play in public servers, you know that I am the minister of cherry picking. So I decided to take Cav with my fifth overall pick.
Thank you.
Oh, there you go. D-Man comes off the board. Cav is again a really good defensive player. Not if we take a look at the top D-men right now, I don't think Cav was like top 5, I believe.
Yeah, I
so
believe
not
he was around there.
certainly not who we thought would go first. Still a very good choice. Yeah, what do you think, Cap?
Yeah, I think obviously Cav, a big name around these servers, one of the most well-respected D-men around here, always a fun guy to play around. I think it makes sense for him as a he wants to build off the back more as a more forward-heavy player, so I could see that pick coming.
I think Kev and the captain there is going to have great chemistry. I think it was a smart play, considering they already have a strong offensive with him in place. So I think that was a smart move. And now they got they just need a backup offensive, an F2 and a D2, and or maybe they go goalie next for their next pick. Who knows? But Detroit Venom on the clock here. Hopefully they make their next pick before time runs out. And are we thinking another offensive pick, or do you think maybe they'll think about changing it up, go a different direction?
It could go either way. Blez is already a pretty good offensive player. I don't see any it's not necessary. That said, having somebody to complement her in the ozone could never hurt. I go best available here. I don't know what the chemistry looks like, but somebody in that top 8 for sure is where I'd be looking.
Yeah, either around Paul Carey about that, or maybe you go around to Prada still, which is he's fallen a bit, which surprises me, but you have him, you have Sully around, you have Stone. It's a couple good options here. It looks like we do have that pick, so we will be bringing in Ble to announce her very first pick.
Oh.
How are you doing tonight, Ble?
I'm doing good, and I'm excited about this next pick.
It's great to hear. Feel free to give us the rundown on who you've grabbed here.
All right, with the 6th overall pick, I'm picking someone that I first met in Napple before it blew up. I never had any real interactions with him, but over the last couple weeks, I've had the chance to get to know him more as a player on the ice and off the ice. With my 6th overall pick, I'm going to be picking Sully.
Great pick. Thank you.
Great pick. Oh, honestly, you called it earlier. Sully was a great choice, and here we see him go off the board early in the drafting pecking order, but not as high as we thought he might go. But still, first rounder. Thoughts, Cap?
Yeah, another great player on the puck. I believe he will be playing both. He play both up top, towards the back, wherever you kind of need him to fill. So very curious to see whether Blad's gonna stick him up top with her and have sort of a deadly duo up top, or if kind of even it out and keep him towards the back. It'll be very interesting to watch.
I haven't seen much of Sully other than in a couple of pickup games, but the guy moves well. He moves the puck well. Can't really see anything, at least in the few games I've played with and against him, anything in his game that sticks out that would make me think he doesn't deserve to go up here.
Carolina Reapers got their pick in here, and we're gonna hopefully bring him in here shortly and have him announce his next pick.
I believe this one will also be a Zoom announcement. So we will get back with that.
Yeah, the Carolina Reapers are up with their first overall selection. The Carolina Reapers will select Earboy.
Another defensive-minded player going up pretty early than what a lot of mocks were picking.
Not that
I've seen your
surprising.
boy.
Sorry, go ahead.
I've seen your boy play defense before, and I mean, I can see why they chose your boy there for a defensive play. I mean, he's a great D1 for sure. He definitely has some hands. He's got some great offensive shots. Definitely some room to grow there, but I think that's a really good pick for a defensive player.
Yeah, I looked through the list of GMs, and there's some talent among the GM, the GM players, and it gives you room to make a pick for a D-man, especially if you're worried that somebody that you might want isn't going to be available. And there's enough talent offensively down this list that will be available in the next round. So you can't go wrong going for a D-man. I'm a firm best player available kind of guy. So there's some people on the list that I would snatch immediately. And honestly, there's a couple sleepers that are not in your best available, but a little further down that I personally would be kind of eyeballing coming into the second round as we get towards the end here of the first round.
And still a lot of great picks that we can see left. I mean, Paul Carey is still on the board. Some are joking he might drop out of this draft completely too. Would be a very interesting thought. You still have Prada dropping down, Wookie making a name for himself over here. Still got Stone, and then everyone's favorite Dad Baggins, part of the Fernie Fungi over in PHL. It's a pleasure to play with him.
Yeah, no, Paul Carey will get drafted in the next few, I imagine. Guy can make plays and score goals. He's just you can't miss out on him. On the D end here, I didn't notice this. I don't know if he's peaked out for Butter Pecan. Is he primarily playing defense?
Yes, I believe so. He has the ability to play a little more offensive minded, but I think especially with some of the lack of defense in some of these pools, I think will be towards the back end.
Yeah, keep
of
your
the
eyes on
ice.
that guy.
It looks like we do have our pick in from the Albuquerque Airbags, and we will be bringing him in here to announce it.
Yo.
How's it going, Log?
Good. How y'all doing?
Doing pretty good. You'll give us the honors of announcing your draft pick.
Is the floor mine? Let me sip my beer real quick. All right, this player fell a long, long way to our lap. Might be the meme of this entire draft process, but we're happy to take him at 8th overall. The Airbags are picking Paul Correa.
And there he goes. Thank you.
Thank you. Log.
After a lot of dropping from PAX rankings, almost 3 rounds, almost 4 rounds now with the Challenger draft, he finally falls all the way down to Log, which is a great steal.
With due respect to the picks before, that might be one that we're shaking our heads at later. How did you fall this far? It's not even that far.
You never know. I mean, I think everyone who got drafted first round here in the Challenger division definitely deserved it. Looking at the names on the board, definitely going to have some great matchups for sure. And who knows, maybe Dark Horse Paul on the Albuquerque Airbags is going to win it all in the end. Who knows? He could show everyone what he's made of. But now we get started here in the round 2 of the draft. Thunder Bay Frost on the clock. 1 minute left. Who do we think is going to go first, guys, on the second round?
looking back, they selected Pack with their first overall, so you'd like to think they go try to build towards the back as well. So some of our top defensemen left. You still have you got Chabot back there, really good defender. Once again, still there. Prada, who can play both. I am normally a more forward-minded player, but be very interesting to see here.
If you're a Troutman, you feel pretty good about your back end. You're probably not as concerned about adding the necessarily the best defensive defenseman. I'm not saying he won't go D-man. I'm saying he's looking at those points per game, and he's looking at who's gonna give me the most offense from the back end. And right now, it's Shabbat's right there at the top, and I could see that guy going here or pretty soon.
And it looks like we have our selection. We will have Zoom give the honors of announcing.
Yeah, we're about to be coming back from an ad break here. I think an involuntary ad break.
That's
Good
unfortunate.
to know.
But I think we're good to go here.
They're raking our
So
money.
back on the clock is the Thunder Bay Frost with the 9th overall pick in the draft. They'll be selecting Prada.
Oh, there goes
he
Prada.
goes.
So this is not the biggest gamble. Prada's excellent. The only question is how long is Prada gone for? Great player, plays both. Can play forward, can play defenseman, plays in both ends of the ice well. Can't imagine, other than the availability, why he'd fall any further.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys where no matter who you put him with, he'll always make a play. So especially him now pairing with Pack, those guys are gonna be demons of puck. They're gonna cause a lot of havoc for a lot of teams. So might have to look towards some more defensive players in these next couple picks to kind of counteract those.
There's plenty of defensive demon available. There's a lot of guys who are really good in their own end. I don't think he's going to have a problem going forward here.
And it looks like we have our 10th overall pick ready for the Kuskokwim Currents.
Yeah, great pronunciation on their cap. I appreciate you attempting that one. The Kuskokwim Currents with the 10th overall selection will be taking the Harry Wookie.
There he goes. Another possible premier snub that will be a great strike force with Kit. Should be another fun team to watch.
Oh yeah, I think Kit and Harry Wookie, that combination right there is going to be definitely one to watch. I know both of them have really good hands and are able to pass straight to the other person's stick without having to guess where it's going, and definitely going to be a team to watch. Definitely be a hard one to play defense against, that's for sure. But now the Albuquerque Airbags up again after their Hulk pick last round. A quick 1-2 for them. So who do we think is going to go now that they got a relatively strong offensive face there? Do you think they're going to go defense here, or maybe an early goalie pick? You never know.
Yeah, tough to say. They have their next pick in the 11 spots, so it's a pretty important pick to make here.
What is Log signed up to play as for this season?
Log will generally be a defensive minded player, so having already taken Paul and you already have Log, I think the best play here is just go best available, whoever I feel like is gonna make the biggest impact there.
I think you still go forward if you're Log. If you think that you're going to be able to be that solid, first defenseman for your team, you got to add offense. And the guys who can score are going to start drying up as you get through the second and third rounds. I mean, there's still some offensive talent, but you got to get guys who can get goals in the back of the net.
It's true. I mean, if I was Log, I'm defense. I just got my F1. Am I thinking about an F2, or maybe grab another D2 that could be a D1 in that way? Potentially, he could be F2 if he needed to be. You know what I mean? Flog's definitely got the capabilities to do that. So
I'm very interested to see where we go. It looks like we want to wait much longer as we have the selected.
Yeah, with the 11th overall selection, the Albuquerque Airbags will take Creeper Donut.
Ooh, off the board.
Hi, Creeper Donut. Shout out to you in the chat earlier. But definitely a good choice there. I've played with Creeper Donut before, and I think that was a really strong pick in terms of chemistry with that team. I think they're really going to mesh well.
Not much of a reach off of your list, Cap, but was not listed up on your best available in your top 8 there.
Definitely might have underranked him a little bit as I have with a couple people, but it is a very good pick, none to say.
I mean, I'm looking at Creeper's stats with the with Los Gatos, and I mean, 140 or about a point and a half per game with that team. So, I mean, this is somebody who can definitely score.
It will be a another great addition. I believe he is listed as a two-way, so he will be sort of filling in wherever Log sees fit. And it looks like we have the 12th overall pick for the Orlando Otters. We have that selected if Zoom will give us the honors.
Yeah, with the 12th overall pick, the Orlando Otters will be selecting Louis.
Thank you. Louis, huh? You know, we were just talking about him a few minutes ago, how he was sneaking in the top 10 list there for offensive skaters. I think that was a really smart pick, especially with Cav. A really strong D1 pick, choosing Louis to be either F1 or F2. Definitely is gonna make that team have other teams take a second glance at them. Make sure they don't let one of those two players that are currently on their team get through. That's for sure. I could see that happening.
It'll be very interesting to see how Louis and Jamiro link up at the top. It'll be great if they find their legs together and they could really make a name for themselves.
Louis' numbers for Buffalo last season were pretty incredible. 24 goals, 19 assists, 43 points in 23 games. Those are some outstanding offensive numbers. So again, another guy who can score goals, and certainly excited to see this player play.
Yeah, very great striking pair. Have the honor of playing with them in IAPL. So yeah, always a tough task to go against them.
Cleveland Hitmen on the clock though. They chose Dylan, who we thought would go number 1 overall. I mean, they got such a strong F1, and who's the captain for the Cleveland Hitmen?
Yeah, I believe it is Canty.
Canty. So with those two already on the team, what are you thinking? A defensive player or another forward pick here, potentially playing in a D1, D2 spot?
Very well could be. Tough to get a read. It looks like we won't have to wait much longer to get that read as the pick is in.
Yeah, we might start a bit of a run here, guys. We're gonna have our first goaltender going.
Ooh.
As the Cleveland Hitmen will select Cosmic Donut with the 13th overall pick.
McDonuts, my old teammate. I played with him. He's a great pick for goalie in D2. Definitely, he's been improving a significant amount in the PPHL. I think he's going to do really well in that for sure. He might be a top goalie for most shutouts this season. I'm just saying, don't call me on it, but that could happen.
Not on the board at all for Cap's best. This is a goaltender who's pretty limited in terms of their PPHL, or sorry, their Ponce Puck server games played. Only 63 games played, 752, and about a 2.4, 2.5 goals allowed average. If we could pull up that the best goalie, there's a bunch of guys, and since we're creeping into that third round, there's a bunch of guys still available. I don't know that we're going to see them immediately, but thoughts on that, Cap? We got somebody off the board here.
Yeah, as I was interested, I thought for sure Farf would be my first pick off the board. I guess I like Cosmic Donut sweep through. They're not, I must have not done enough research on my end, but
How long until
we'll
you
see.
expect to see somebody like Farf go here?
I think Farf could go in the third round. I think he is a very great difference maker, but it's always nice to have a reliable goaltender. He's very good at those breakaways that can rely on him. It looks like we have the 14th overall pick for the Tampa Bay Flamingos.
Yeah, guys. Dog's gonna be taking the creator of the rule set mod himself with the 14th overall pick. The Flamingos will select
There goes TM.
Great pick. Love him. Love the game that he plays. I don't see him as much, at least as of recent, but every game I've played with or against him, he's been just absolutely shut down in his own end. Can score as well, so really, really good pick there.
I think he's going to have a really good season starting out here in the Challenger division. I think he's going to be one of the breakout players that we see really develop over this season into a really good skater for sure.
Yeah, definitely a great Ponce legend. Makes his name around a lot.
But now we're getting into the back-to-back picks here. Carolina Reapers are going to have another pick here and 3 picks, and hopefully they get something good. So who do you think they're going to do since they have such close picks? Are they going to go for an offensive player here, or do you think they're going to do a goalie just because we've already started to dip into them?
I feel like with taking Ear Boy at 7, I think you have to go with someone towards the front. And get something like a Baggins up there or a mixed T. One of those
At this
guys.
point, you're kind of just asking yourself, who will Blatt take right after I pick? And that's if I want them, I got to take them now. And you're going to lose out on whoever the second person you want is. I imagine that's who Bla's going with. So, I mean, goalie's possible, but I wouldn't in your second round. It's just not worth it when you've only got one pick. I would go forward here.
All right, it looks like won't take much longer as the Carolina Reapers have made their selection.
Yeah, guys, that run on goalie might be getting started here. The 15th overall pick to the Carolina Reapers will be Farf.
There he goes. Another great selection, a great goalie. A lot of a different strategy than what we've seen in the Premier draft. Some goalies going very early, but be very interested to see how it works out.
Yeah, there's always that fear of missing out on a really good goalie. I think that it's a little risky to take goalies early in the draft just because you're relying on good depth drafting in order to keep your team strong and to be able to score. So, no doubt, Farf's an excellent goalie. It's a great pick, and he deserves to get picked up here. But you do have to wonder where's the rest of the team going to come, or what's the rest of the team going to look like going into the third round and beyond that.
Bled now for the Detroit Venom has up 2 back-to-back picks, so potentially could just finish out the lineup here without a goalie. Or do you think Farf is going to pick up a goaltender to kind of round out the team? And
Be tough. I know Bud is signed up as a sort of flex, so don't know how much she will be playing goalie, but certainly enough that it might be towards the back of her mind and focusing on a more in-depth lineup.
I think she's only got one player on her team right now. She needs to draft 2 other players. It's possible you go goalie with one of these picks, but you've still need 2 more skaters. So one of these will be a skater for sure.
Looks like the 16th overall pick is in.
Yeah, the Detroit Venom have 2 picks back to back here. So with pick 16, they will be selecting Jerky.
Ooh. a great WCPL prospect that I haven't seen much of. I haven't had the honor of seeing, but I know he is a very good handler, great at those one-on-ones, great up top prospect.
I
Now,
assume we're
now,
waiting on the second pick still. I can't speak to the player. It sounds like you know a little more than me, Cap. My question now is Jerky being a forward, is that correct?
Yes.
So you've got Bleh and then Sully and Jerky. Are you going D-man here or are you going goalie here?
I think you still just take a best available, and 'cause I believe you could have Sully play more backwards and Jerky at the top, and you can go either a 2F or a 2D.
The vibe I'm getting is you go goalie here. Honestly, you've kind of fleshed out your fourth player. You're gonna get somebody who can step into the lineup, you know, in the next round. It's a long ways away for her, but I don't think there's gonna be a problem there. The vibe I feel like with that pick is now you go goalie.
It looks like the pick is in the 17th overall.
Yeah, with their back-to-back pick, the Detroit Venom will be selecting Hood Legend at number 17.
Oh, so we just add more offense to your team.
Oh, just seems the best defense is offense, as some say.
I mean, you can't go wrong with some of these. There's some players in here that have fallen a little bit, you know, off the list, and Hood Legend is somebody who's been kind of sitting in your best available for a while. So no surprise on the
Mhm.
pick. It just it feels like you've got a whole lot of talent on that lineup now.
Yeah, I'd be interested to take a look at some of those best availables and see who's kind of taking a fall and who's still coming up. Got some new names up, Toki, great prospect around here, hit the net. Still at the top, you have Stone sitting up. You still got Baggins, couple great guys that could easily be pulled in these next couple picks.
looking at these lists, I gotta say, I would probably pick up Mixed T or Surveying for sure for at least a forward. I mean, Baggins for sure as well if his play style matches what you're looking for.
Yeah,
Mixed T
that,
is really good. I already gassed him up earlier in the, you know, in this stream, but I'm a big fan of his game. Bombay, another guy who can score a lot of goals. Um, Definitely could be a complimentary piece if you're looking for somebody who can, you know, help you run up the score.
and it looks like the 18th overall selection is in.
Yeah, you guys are on the money here. With the 18th overall pick, the Carolina Reapers will be selecting Mixed T.
Yeah, no surprise to me. He honestly is higher up on my list. Just somebody I've got a lot of faith in as a player. He's really good. I think that's an absolute steal in the third round.
I mean, with Mixed T on that team, you've got a pretty solid back line, front line, depending on how you want to view it. But I think the Carolina Reapers did really well with their draft there, at least for their starters, and hopefully they do well this season. Tampa Bay Flamingos, though, on the clock again. They had the first overall draft pick with Big Snoop and picked up And do you think that they're gonna do another D player, or do you think they're gonna go with a goaltender?
I think there's only a couple those top prospects at goalie left. I think you might want to secure one of them right now. Between Sun is up there, you got Average and Otto, who has been improving so much recently. Could go there. Either that or you secure another forward to play alongside Snoop. You have the likes of Bombay up there, Serbain. Those are a couple of the guys that I could see Dog looking at. And it looks like the pick is in.
Yeah, with the 19th overall pick, the Tampa Bay Flamingos will be selecting Serbain.
It is the other striking partner to Big Snoop, which I could see this working great for them. Two big passers that will link up perfectly together once they get their chemistry set, as
Yeah,
well as
tell us a little bit
Serbain.
about his game, Cap, just because the numbers don't say goal scorer.
Yeah, he is very much a pass first guy. He will hold up play. He'll find that outlet. He will stay up the ice a little bit more, and then as a little breakout pass, and then hold it up to kind of give it around. A great prospect that's been getting his name out. Looks like next we have the Hitman on the clock.
England and Cosmic Donut are already are on my team, and if I'm being honest, they're probably going to pick up a D-man here. If we can take a look at that D list, just to see who's left in the top 10 here. We got some great names that I see. I mean, C Nation, Butterpecan, you got Ram, Buzz Flibbit. Shout out to Tigglebits, who is in that number 4 spot. Definitely a popular pick. Pastala, I've played games against him. He does really good on defense. La Sauce and Chabat there at the number 1 spot and for the remaining defense in this challenger draft.
I'll call my sleeper pick in here is not that he's a sleeper, but Vorim, the guy can be really annoying to play against. He's good in his end.
Looks like the pick is in for the 20th overall to the Cleveland Hitmen.
Yeah, it's interesting as some of these teams come along, you can kind of see like where the manager has more experience watching people. I think the pick here is a big one for that. The Cleveland Hitmen will select Stone with the 20th overall pick. Pretty sure kind of an NAPL player, just like Canty.
So not much that I've seen of Stone, but I've heard a lot of great things.
I mean, he's been sitting at the top of the list for a while. It's shouldn't be that surprised. I can't speak to much of his game, but if we're going by your rankings, it sounds like we've basically just been waiting for this pick.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming from my end. Let's see, next up we got the Otters on the clock. They already have selected their long-term defenseman in Cav, and they have their 2 players up top with Louis and the manager. I could very easily see a goalie spot here. I believe this is where he would have wanted to take Troutman if he was available. So might stick at the similar plan and pick up another one, either Sun, Average, or Otto. I could see any of those 3 going.
Missed out on the Louis' teammate Farf from Buffalo. Would have been cool to see them link up here, but obviously we saw Farf go earlier in the draft here. So still some really good goaltenders available. Corny J is in there. I think earlier I mentioned Salty as well. A bunch of guys who can stop pucks still available.
Yeah, guys, you guys spoke pretty complimentary about this player following the premier draft. Even when I asked you kind of about some of the goalies you liked in this draft. So with the 21st overall pick, the Orlando Otters will select Otto.
Great to hear. Otto recently name changed to Vladar. Been hitting up pugs, the pickup games over here in Ponce a lot, and it's been a massive prospect to watch. One of the, I believe he has the most saves currently in all of Ponce. So a great pick that a lot of the people will enjoy.
Yeah, guy's good in the crease. Good on the mic too. Talks a lot of trash. But fan of his game. Excited to see him play as well.
Very much.
Like 3 more spots remain here in the round 2 for the Challenger draft. Albuquerque Airbags are up next. They got Creeper Donut and they've got Paul. And I don't know who they're going to pick next. I mean, a goalie or maybe another forward pick. I mean, there's still lots of people left on the board that can definitely hop in here in this round 2.
So
What do
they've
you guys
got
think?
two. They've got 2 forwards. They've got their log at D. If he again, like we were talking about earlier, if he feels like, sorry, Creeper's at forward, right? If I recall correctly.
I believe he is
Alright,
listed
well.
as both.
Okay, so he can swap between. I mean it. Again, it entirely depends if Log feels like he's their 1D. There's still some D-men available that can step up and step in. You do start to worry a little bit about goalie, but there's still more than enough goalies available to have a starter. So I'm not panicking about goalie and yet at the in the third round here. So it wouldn't surprise me to see a D-man going here.
Yeah, the D-man predictions can be right there, Cavi. The Airbags will be selecting average with pick 22.
That's a goalie on my list here. No,
I believe so.
or is he listed as both?
Looks like the other goalie will be taken down. Another great PHL prospect that has been getting his name out in the combines, so it is a great honor to see him get picked so high.
I played against average myself, and I mean, he's a great goalie, hard to get by. So I think that team is going to be definitely one really hard team to play against. Their offense and defense coming together. If they end up meshing well, then that's definitely going to be the dark horse, in my opinion, of the season.
Yeah, and then now looking forward to the Currents with the 23rd overall pick. You got already the Harry Wookie and Kit as your 2 forwards up top. I could easily see getting your defenseman here. See who we got. We got still Shabbat at the top. Could be a great pick. Buzz Flibbit, another great defenseman. Got Lasauce, a good 2-way player. Can hit it around. Then you got the man himself, the producer Ticklebits. Gotta love him.
I saw CN Nation playing earlier today in a pickup game. Guy was on absolute fire. I don't remember if he scored 2. He had a couple goals. I want to say a few assists. He looked ready to play.
Yeah, I believe I was part of one of those pickup games earlier where you had a hat trick for defensive spot, which
You lost some
was
points as goalie though,
good one.
unfortunately.
I might have. It looks like the pick is in for the Currents.
Yeah, the top available defenseman is going to be heading over to the Currents as they'll select Shabbat with pick 23.
There he goes. Another great pick to lock down the D.
I've only seen him play a little bit. I mean, the numbers kind of tell the story here. This is a D-man who can score for you as well. From what I've seen of him in game, he looks really good as well.
Looking at that total team chemistry there, I mean, you got a lot of offensive force. That's for sure. I mean, I've definitely seen all of those players have really good times playing on the offensive zone, and I think that they're going to be one of the potential high-scoring teams of the season. If I had to guess.
Definitely could see Kit finding Wookiee in those slots and in those breakaways could be a very dangerous duo. And then having Shabbat to hold down the back. It looks like now we got the Thunder Bay Frost, the new Trout team, having a back-to-back here. Already having Pack and Prada. You could see maybe a couple defensemen going here. It looks like the 24th overall pick has been selected.
Yeah, he's too humble to announce himself, but the 24th overall pick to the Thunder Bay Frost will be Ticklebits, Mr. Producer.
Hey.
Everyone's favorite streamer selected in the 3rd round. What a great honor it is.
He doesn't want you guys to know this, but he is currently pumping his fist in the air.
I am on stream now, and I can confirm that that is in fact a lie.
Well, there you have it. That'll round out the first 3 rounds of the draft. Ticklebits will go with that 24th overall selection. And I guess we could take a look at these teams as they're starting to round out what the starting lineups kind of are going to look like. Does anybody stick out to you guys?
See here, a couple great teams. I really like how the Flamingos look. I think they could have some of the best chemistry there is. As far as pure talent, I mean, I think you just got to look over at the Venom, the Airbags, some of the top prospects there.
Yeah, I mean, all these teams look really good from the get-go. I would say Detroit Venom for me, and potentially the Cleveland Hitmen and the Albuquerque Airbags look a little tough there to play against. Those would definitely be my picks for the season.
And it looks like the pick for the 25th overall selection for the Thunder Bay Frost is in.
Yeah, they're going to go back to defense here, guys. With the 25th overall pick, the Thunder Bay Frost will select Vareem.
Another Ponce Pub legend that is being selected.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to not having to play against him.
He's a very good D-man, very good at staying home and holding down that back line for you.
It's just a really good addition to a team that's already got a lot of good players on it. This is sorry, I'm having a hard time looking at the teams here because of the initials. Yeah, it's Thunder Bay. Sorry, it was a little strange to look at. So they've pretty much got everything they need on the ice here. I mean, they'll have Troutman, in the crease. So that team looks like it's pretty much set as it is.
Yeah, it could be a very great lineup with a lot of chemistry. I could see these guys all fun to play with. Great characters. It looks like the selection is in for the 26th overall pick to the Kuskokwim Currents.
Yeah, with the 26th pick, the Currents will select Hussein.
Leave another defenseman heavy player that has some great stats. Looking over at the Ponce website.
This is actually a big faller on your list. He was projected as the 6th pick. So this guy has fallen quite a long way from the info I'm looking at. Defenseman still puts up a lot of points on Ponce Puck servers, about 1.2 points per game. Certainly seems like a good ad, and I'm kind of a little mixed up here looking at the player order and seeing this guy up at 6, and here we are in the 4th round.
Yeah, it's definitely some people taking some falls, but a lot of great prospects still around.
I think the Albuquerque Airbags go for an offensive player here, just to potentially back up Paul and Log if he chooses to go up. But he could run out his team with that D2 pick to back him up as well. It's definitely going to be a critical pick for him, I gotta say.
And I believe the pick is in, and I think Log will be making a surprise appearance to announce the pick himself. So we will be bringing him on in. Welcome back in, Log.
I just feel like announcing this pick. It's a good pick.
Love to hear it. Feel free to shoot
All
away.
right. 27th overall, we're picking Keys.
He's another big name. Fell down the rankings a slight bit, but a great skater indeed.
Yeah, not quite as big of a fall. But point per game player in the Ponce servers, for Port Stanley, he had 21 points in 22 games, so just shy of a point per game. Primarily a forward Keys, but we'll see where he slots in. It does kind of look like they have a lot of forwards who can swap to D in Albuquerque, so maybe if you're Log, you're just going best player available and slotting them in where they fit best, and they'll figure it out later.
Yeah, it might be one of those cases where you put whoever out who you think is going to be doing the best, and they kind of just play more fluidity. No true person staying home, and they just have a lot more availability back there.
Not thinking Orlando needs to necessarily go out and try and add more offense. They've got two really good offensive players already for them. They can. I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying that you're looking at the back end here in the 4th round. Maybe you try and take a defenseman.
Yeah, I could see totally rounding out that starting 5. And I believe the selection is in for the Orlando Otters.
Yeah, with the 28th overall pick, the Orlando Otters will be selecting Butter Pecan Bang. And I just got to add, one of the few players I have trusted to be on the boards on defense when I need him to be. He's always in the right spot.
This man is he's a great sharpshooter from that blue line, especially one of those guys that it's dangerous to let it get cycled around him.
I said keep an eye on him way earlier in the draft. Obviously, we're here in the 4th round. I think this guy is a little bit better than his draft position suggests. Again, he plays both positions. He'll play forward and he'll play defenseman. I think he's actually also signed up as a goaltender as a secondary position. So this guy will slot in anywhere on your team, and I think he can give you a pretty good performance no matter what position he's playing.
One of those true glue guys that's willing to go wherever you need him.
I mean, is that your team if you're Orlando, or are you still trying to? Or is everybody you're picking just complimentary, or are we looking at their lineup right now with those 4 players plus the GM?
I'd say that just makes the starting lineup unless there's some crazy prospect that develops really good. I feel like that's the lineup you send out first game.
I mean, you'd have, you'll probably I imagine start Butter Pecan at D then with Cav, and then Louis and your GM are playing forward. So, I mean, it looks like a team that can score at the front. Pecan can definitely add some offense, and Cav is pretty damn good in his on his side of the ice. So looks like a pretty well-rounded team to me.
Yeah, very well. I'd love to take a look at the best available skaters and see around who we might take here. Obviously, I think we finish out the lineup. Some of the top forwards. You still got Baggins up there. Bombay, another great Ponce pubber that has a great strike on him. You got Toki, who's been improving a lot in the pub. Lasas, who's been around and making his name known. And another great point per game for Puck Luck Chuck with a 1.56.
Yeah, those numbers are pretty unbelievable. Do we know the deal with Puck Luck Chuck? Why so far down in the draft order?
A lot of people just I think skeptical in the competition, but I think he's still, no matter where you get it done, I think those numbers are just phenomenal. I think this is a great spot to select a good goal scorer.
If you're not getting him here, surely he's going in the next round. Those numbers are that's worth the gamble. I would say 1.5 a game is is pretty ridiculous numbers, and
Mhm.
you know, he's not just scoring goals; he's putting up assists as well.
Yeah, guys, your wait for Puck Luck Chuck is over here. He is the pick for the Cleveland Hitmen. They'll select Puck Luck Chuck at 29.
Well, I'm glad we could talk the Cleveland Hitmen into drafting Puck Luck Chuck, but yeah, I mean, again, the numbers just don't lie there. I'm not sure if Cleveland knows something about him that we don't in terms of availability or anything like that, but it just feels like a a swing you have to take again, even if you weren't doing it here. Surely it had to be the next round. So, uh, yeah, I haven't played a ton with Chuck, but from the numbers that we're looking at in front of us, it looks like a pretty versatile offensive forward. So.
Any thoughts on who we think the Flamingos will be snagging up here?
Gotta be
I
goalie,
mean,
right? Or do they have
it's
a
gotta be
goalie GM?
goalie.
Yeah.
I mean, if we go to the goalie list, I think potentially number one right now sitting up there is Sun, who would be a pretty good round out. You get Lunar Sharp up there as well. Corny J. Those are some pretty good goaltenders still left there on the board for teams to pick up. So I wouldn't worry about getting a goaltender unless you're already set. So um,
It just seems like this is where you go goalie. We're in the fourth round. You've got pretty much every other position locked up, and you don't want whatever goalie it is that you want to fall, or you're basically hoping they fall further. And there are some teams who don't need to pick goalie for a while now, especially guys like Thunder Bay who have their starting goalie already. Um, but I would definitely at least be looking here and say how much longer until we pick, and how many of these guys will be available then.
Yeah, guys, you're gonna be right again here with pick 30. The Tampa Bay Flamingos will be selecting Lunar Sharp.
Sharp, great pick. I've played against them in goal, and definitely going to be a goalkeeper to keep your eye out, watching how many shots are blocked and how many 0 goals on games that he's going to have. I think he's going to be potential top 3 goalie for sure this season.
Definitely a good netminder. The back presence, good reliability, and as well as part of our crew up here. Let's see what we have next. We have the Venom with a back-to-back. Or sorry, I believe the
Back-to-back left
Reapers.
selections,
The
but we've got
Reapers coming up, and then after that we'll be rounding out the fourth round with Blaze Venom.
But we're back where we were before earlier, where we're wondering who is it here that you're taking, and is your decision influenced by the fact that Bleh has back-to-back choices immediately after you? I'm not totally sure where they go here. Is Detroit or not Detroit? Do they have a goalie on this team?
The Reapers have Farf, so I think
Oh,
they'll be
did they?
set on the goalie.
Can you swap back? Did I misread the? Oh yeah, my bad. I missed it. Sorry. So yeah, they have Farf. They don't need to go goalie here.
Unless you draft away all the goalies from everyone else.
Yeah, I don't think
An
that's
unseen strategy.
necessary. So yeah, definitely Skater here.
Yeah, I'm interested whether they go best available here or they have a certain position in mind, but I believe the pick is in, so let's discuss after we hear.
Yeah, guys, you've mentioned this player a couple times on the defensive side of things. So with pick 31, the Carolina Reapers will select CN Nation.
Had a great performance today with that hat trick, and maybe silly saw some of that tape got leaked.
I saw CN score an absolute ripper from the blue line today. If he's doing anything like that during the league games this season, this guy's gonna have an unbelievable year.
This very well could make a lot of people regret passing up on him. Love to see how that turns out. It looks like the Venom will be on the clock to round out round 4 and bring us into round 5. They're back-to-back picks. Just a reminder, they have Buzz as their captain, Sully, Jerky, and Hood Legends. So
This has to
can
be the
see-
goalie pick, right? This or the next one, I would imagine. It's just a matter of who do you want to offend less, being the being the later pick. Who's going 33?
Yeah, I
One of
think,
these has to be goalie. I'm not sure which one.
yeah, I'd love to take a look at the best goalies available and see who's around still.
I feel like Plez going to choose someone that she's played with before. I don't think she's going to choose a new goalie, but I don't know which goalie that Detroit has in mind. But I've looking at the list of top goalies. Still got Sun up there. You still got Corny J up there. Those are some pretty good options. And if not a goaltender now, I mean, could just run with it and pick up another good player. Baggins still on the list. Buzz Flibbit. Toki still on there. Great stick handler. We got Ram still listed up there in the 8 overall best available.
Yeah, I would say Buzz and Ram would be 2 great picks here for some extra defensive mindset here. I think that they need some of those guys. I do believe the first of the back-to-back picks is in for the 32nd over.
Yeah, with pick 32 here, Detroit will go goalie. They're going to select Sun.
Another great goalie that has been getting around, getting his name out. I think that is a great pick that will help solidify that starting lineup, I believe.
I imagine we're just looking to find some talent who we can can fill in the gaps, or if people aren't showing up for for any given game going forward here for not all of these teams, but at least for some of them. So as far as for Detroit, anybody on the board or off the board that you take a swing at? There's a couple guys I'm looking at, and your best available on the right there that kind of stick out to me as, hey, maybe why not give them a go?
Yeah, I think this could also just be a spot that it's difficult. You don't pick for another 14 or so spots, so you need to make the selection count, whether you take a stab at it and go really left field and hope that you get a good prospect, or if you go someone more safe. Bombay has proven himself over here, a great goal. I still think you could go solidify some of the defense and get a Ram or a Buzz Flibbit.
See Noah Body back on the list. That was an exciting thing that got brought up to us, and he's popped up here on your best available.
Yeah, one of the original players. Great defensive presence. Only issue is slight availability, but still, even with that in mind, he is one of the best defenders I've seen in some of our public games. Looks like we are getting low on the clock. I believe the selection has been made. We will see who the Venom rounds off with.
Yeah, the Venom will select with the 33rd overall pick. They're going to add a defenseman, Ram.
And there does go Ram. Very smart selection in my book. Solidify your back end, get Sun some help back there, and I think it is a great selection. I'm very interested what their starting 5 will be.
All right, we're moving up into the 5th round here, and like we were saying, you're either taking swings or you're just trying to fill out the your roster to where you can have somebody step up into the lineup. Honestly, I really probably wouldn't be taking any swings until later in the draft. This is where I want to find guys who, okay, maybe you're not the best available player, but you can come in and play a solid game, and I can rely on you to, help us win games down the stretch if somebody's not available. In terms of who you're going to add here, is there anybody that who do you think sticks out as somebody who maybe has fallen and probably should be anybody that you think should be starting that hasn't been drafted yet?
I mean, a lot of these guys are definitely some snubs that could have gone earlier. I mean, Baggins been falling and falling. I think this could be a good spot to take him. You still got Bombay, another great goal scorer. Could link up well with Mixed T, two great pubbers that probably know each other very well. And you still got some, you got Toki moving his way up. Still got some great picks up here.
A sleeper pick there was Tension. Definitely a good goal scorer there, left on the board off the pickup. But they just pick up I guess who was their last pick? The Carolina Reapers. Was it offense or
Sia
defense?
Nation, so a more defensive minded. I think
Yeah,
they'd likely end up going with a more second forward here to pair up with Mixed T well. And I do believe that pick is in, so let's see where they end up going.
Yeah, with the 34th overall pick, the Carolina Reapers will select Tobert.
Tobert it is.
Tobert, somebody I was going to ask you about earlier. He kind of fell by the wayside on my in my analysis when we were talking about forwards a little while ago. Any thoughts on him? I know you've played some games with him sometime. It was not recently, but I'd seen you guys playing in public servers before.
Yeah, he's definitely a great second forward option. Definitely will pair well with Mixed T once again. Two great Ponce public guys that have over 400 plus games, so they definitely will have. I think that they'll get along well and definitely get some easy chemistry and link up. Perfect to score some good goals. Let's see. Next up, we got the Tampa Bay Flamingos on the clock. After just picking Lunar Sharp, you'd have to assume they go with some sort of skater here. Where are you guys leaning?
I mean, they could go a defensive pick, they could go offensive pick, but it's definitely going to be a skater there with Lunar and net. I mean, looking at the list again, I think a great pick would be Baggins for sure. But I mean, you got so many great names on the board: Bombay, Toki, Sauce, Ao, Tension, Gary, Resp, Amakuputa, and Pastala. I mean, great forward players that still remain here to fill out your team if you needed to. But it's really going to be depending on the manager and the captain and kind of chemistry they want to have in their locker room. That's definitely going to be some key picks here in the later rounds to round out the team.
I
Yeah,
look down the
definitely.
list here and I see Bombay, I see AO, I see Tension, and these are three guys that I think can all be, productive forwards on any team in this league. You look at the production over the games that they've played, Tension aside because he's only got close to 200 games, but Bombay and AO both have played a lot of games on the Ponce servers. They've both scored a lot of points, and I don't see any reason why they can't get in this league. I would definitely be looking at those two if you're looking forward here.
We got pick 35 here. We're working on a situation from one of the earlier picks, but we do have pick 35. The Tampa Bay Flamingos will select Perfetti.
Here, another great striker that's towards the top of those Ponce leaderboards. Definitely had him a bit low on my rankings, but once again, another great Ponce guy that will definitely get a lot of points up during this league.
Yeah, didn't spot him on your list there. Just part of the reason that I wouldn't have brought him up. I can't recall. There's a few guys that kind of mesh together in my mind of playing with them in the public servers. I think Perfetti is one of those guys that I would see come in and score quite often. It's hard to recall for sure. There's a couple guys that have popped here. Fear the Pasta is one of them that they would come in and they were always scoring a goal every game that we played. So, I'm sure we'll see some of those guys as we keep going. Perfetti might be one of those guys. I'm just not recalling for sure.
Yeah, interesting look here to see who the Hitmen take next after taking a great striker in Puck Chuck. Definitely see them building out the back. Obviously have Cosmic Donut already as a definitely to just go. This could be the round of some of just the best availables taken.
Draken there in your 5th slot for best overall D-man, or available D-man, excuse me. Also plays goalie, so can't go wrong getting a flex player as you get deeper into this draft as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a great player. I think he's more of a netminder in my eyes, but I think he still can hold his own in that defensive spot.
Looking at the defensive men there, saw Pixel Haunts hiding down there in the 9th spot, and Zuki as well, another great defensive choice. But Bez Flibbit is still up there, and Postla. I think those are two. Might be listed down here as defensive men, but overall just good puck players and definitely can play both ways on the ice. I think that they might be going here in this round for sure.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they keep falling.
Yeah, so we have a bit of a situation with the Tampa pick earlier, but the 36th pick to Cleveland will be Buzz Flibbit. And regarding the Tampa thing earlier, hit us up as the draft stream was happening, and he said he forgot to pull his eligibility. So he wasn't sure to be available, so we let them swap out him for Noah Body.
Well,
Interesting move that they've done there, but I guess they had to do what they had to do, considering he pulled out. So
I think first we'll go over the most recent pick in Buzz Flibbit. Been a long time coming in my eyes. Great defensive set piece. And then Noah Body getting changed up, I think, is a great replacement as far as another great defenseman that will be very reliable in the back end.
Will be missed though. He was like we gassed him up all night when we were talking about him. The really good defensive defenseman, can score as well, and it's a shame that he won't be playing this year.
Looks like next we have the Hitmen on the clock. See where they end up. Or sorry, not the Hitmen, the Otters. The Otters will be on the clock. Any ideas on
right.
where they get going?
I mean, if I'm looking at their lineup right now, I'm thinking to myself, they need some offensive fillers here for sure. I think their defense is pretty set with Butterpecan and Cav. But offensively, I think they could use, a backup skater potentially to develop one a little bit more. But looking at the offensive list of skaters there, I mean, you still have Baggins, you still have Bombay, you still have Toki. Tension would be another great pickup for an offensive player, but I could be thinking about a defensive pick as well. Not that it's warranted, but I think that there are still some really good names left on the board there. Um, just looking at some names, potential calls: Pixel Haunts, Postala, Zuki, just some people I've played against that I know are pretty good defensemen, depending on what they're looking for.
Looks like the 37th overall selection is in for the Orlando Otters.
Yeah, with pick 37, the Orlando Otters will be selecting Ostala.
A great pick. Definitely fell a little bit deeper than we might have thought, but Postala is a great selection that we've been mentioning for a long while.
I think he's going to do really well on that team for sure. He's a great pickup. He can play both ways, and I think he's really going to round out that team really well. So excited to see what he can do on that team. But now the Albuquerque Airbags on the clock here again. Their team is pretty set here, so now I think they're just going to be looking for some fillers, potential subs to see what they're made of out on the ice. Who are we thinking that they might pick up here? I mean, looking at the board, Baggins looking mighty tasty up there in the #1 overall spot. But you can't sell everyone else short. I mean, you still got Toki, Bombay down there in the list underneath them, Tension.
I see 8 names and that best available, and I'm taking one of them. We're at a point in the draft where it's why pass up on any of these guys now. There's no reason to go goalie unless everybody I think has their goalie at this point. It's got to be one of these guys. Unless somebody knows something that we don't. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, I can definitely Baggins still being here, Tension still being here, Bombay. Some great players are still available. Some new names coming up. Chichu, great player. Makes a lot of good plays. Resp has been getting his name around. Obviously his PHL experience, well known. Gary getting his name up there as well. A lot of great players still be left to be picked. It looks like the pick is in for the Airbags for the 38th overall selection.
Yeah, the Albuquerque Airbags with pick 38 will select Jonesy.
Jonesy, someone that I personally am not as familiar with. Here's some.
I mean, you had him pretty high up on your list. I'm not familiar with the player either, so I can't speak to him. But 138 goals, 99 assists, and 219 games for 237 points. I mean, this is a point per game player on the Ponce Puck servers, so I mean, certainly somebody who can score. Not sure if you have anything in terms of insight, Pike, on this guy.
Sorry, which name was it again?
This is Jonesy that was just drafted.
Jonesy. I have not actually had the opportunity to play with Jonesy, but he is listed as a forward in defense, which typically means he's confident in both zones of the ice. And going to the Albuquerque Airbags, I'm pretty sure he might be a sleeper pick for them, waiting for them to be available to pick him up in the late rounds. And I think we're gonna see Josie add some great chemistry to a really good team that's being drafted here by Log.
Yeah, I think those stats speak to themselves. It's pretty a great pick. Looks like next we got the Currents on the clock, and then after that we will have the Thunder Bay Frost to round off round 5. I am curious if you guys have any ideas when these guys will be looking at getting back up, whether they get them here or they're gonna wait around 10 more picks after to get them in rounds 7 and 8. Right, it looks like with the 39th overall pick for the Currents, they have selected their player.
Yeah, with the 39th pick, the Currents will be selecting Coots.
Boots been getting his name around in some of these pickup games. Another Ponce player. A good defensive-minded player that will be a great pickup for the Currents.
I think we saw Coots play a few combine games, did we not?
I believe so. I think that name is familiar to me. A lot of these guys have been getting their names out in the combines, and it's great to see that some of them have improved their rankings and some of their play styles. Looks like next up we have the Thunder Bay Frost getting their back-to-back. It looks like the Thunder Bay Frost have made their first of two selections with the 40th overall pick.
Yeah, with pick number 40, the Thunder Bay Frost will be taking somebody I thought might go a little earlier. A really sound player. They're picking Fear the Pasta.
Fear the Pasta, a great player. Another good Ponce player. Great forward. Gets a lot of good movements and some good shots in there.
Pasta's somebody that whenever I would join a server, I was really happy to see him on. He will pass the puck, he can shoot the puck, and he can receive your passes, and that was a godsend in early Ponce Puck. So always liked playing with the guy, always liked playing against the guy. Good dude. Glad to see him get drafted here.
Definitely a great OG that's been around. Perfect. And now looks like the second of the back-to-back picks for the Thunder Bay Frost has been selected.
Yeah, the Thunder Bay Frost with the 41st overall pick will be selecting Mole.
They pick that I would not have seen coming, but a great player, obviously. Trout getting some of his team. It looks like he's going to hold off on picking up the goaltender, is going to wait for the last wraparound.
Mull, somebody you projected to go around here. I think we had him around 37, so 42, not too far off. Defensive player, obviously not putting up a lot of points there for Frostburg, but hopefully is a good complementary piece for them.
And now it'll be interesting to see if the Currents end up going with their backup goaltender or if they feel the need to wait.
I still feel like you have time here for a backup goalie.
Yeah, I will say that I think it is crazy that we still have Baggins left around here. Still, Bombay. There's still a lot of great players that have passed on. Toki Fawn, Tension still here. There's a lot of skaters that are dropping way farther than we might have seen.
It's only a matter of time. I mean, there's just a lot of talent down the draft pool. Some guys that maybe are the GMs are more familiar with than maybe people in the community are. So it's not that shocking, but yeah, certainly some big fallers that are still available here.
Looks like once wait too long. It looks like the pick is in for the Kuskokwim Currents.
Yeah, one of your top forwards is going to go here at pick 42. The Currents will select AO.
AO, another great player with a lot of great stats, almost a point per game stat. Still surprising to see Baggins falling down, but I don't hate the pick, especially as if I fit the manager's needs.
The key thing you're going to see looking at AO's stat line is that the goals almost match the assists. They're not that far apart. when you're looking at Pug players and you're looking at guys who are playing in the public servers, they score a lot of goals. Sometimes that can just mean that they're playing against guys who are not too great at the game. When you've got a guy who's putting up a lot of assists, that can at least suggest to you, okay, this is a guy who can make a pass. So sometimes you don't want to gamble on the guys who are just scoring a lot because who knows who they're playing against. But the guys who can make a pass or make a play, it's a little bit of a safer bet. Ao is a good guy. He's a good player. Can make plays. I haven't played a ton with him, but from what I've seen, it's seems like a pretty good pick, especially this far in.
Like next, we have the airbags back on the clock after their Jonesy pick. Curious to see where they end up heading, what direction they head here. So I'd be curious to take a look at some of the best defenders left. See around some new names coming up. So I have Lasauce up here. Obviously, Error with Noah Body still being there. Draken's still coming up. Swagger, I'm getting his name out. Zuki, our favorite cookie, coming up. Got Pixel Haunts, Slippery Nod, Cave, and Poitras all rounding out that top 10. I do believe the pick is in for the Albuquerque Airbags.
Yeah, I gotta drop the compliment for the name here. The my favorite Red Wings rookie. I'm a Red Wings fan. The 43rd pick to the Albuquerque Airbags is Finney.
Finney. Another guy that's been getting his name out in the combines. Great to see him go.
Know anything about Finney that you could talk about?
I think going to the Albuquerque Airbags, just looking at that team already, I mean, they got Paul Creeper Donut Average, Keese, the letters are too small. Josie and Finney. I think just looking at the team as a whole, I think definitely going to be a dark horse of the season. Like I said before, they've got a really good lineup here, and I think Log knows what he's doing, and he's already got his sleeper picks locked and loaded. So hopefully he continues doing just that here in this draft. But Orlando Otters on the clock here, looking at their team. What do you think he's going to pick? You think he's going to go offense, defense? You think they got a sleeper pick in mind?
I don't see them going any which direction. I think a more defensive minded player could be in store. But wouldn't be surprised if they just go with the best available.
At this point in the draft, I'm looking at your talent. How good are you? And that's where I would be drafting. I'm only concerned about getting especially at this point, best player available. To me, every person we're still looking at this top 8 list is. I mean, we can look up and down the draft sheet. I'm sure there's other people who are really good that maybe we're missing out on, but it still feels like some of these guys have to start going at some point.
Definitely see some of the locker room being the things that a lot of these guys could be. A lot of the vibes that they want with the players would be best. But I do believe the pick is in for the Otters.
Yeah, the Otters will be taking another one of our wonderful Ponce staff members off the board here, as they'll select Zuki at pick 44.
And there he goes. Love to see him get picked at number 44. A great defensive-minded player that's been on the come up. See, next we got the Cleveland Hitmen on the clock. After just taking Buzz Flibbit, you see them maybe they want to go start the leading again and go.
I think they're going to take Baggins. I mean, looking at that team, looking at who's left, I think Baggins would work really well with their team. Or Tension, now I'm looking at the list, but definitely gonna pick up another offensive pick here. I think top talent for sure, but definitely more offensive leaning.
Yeah, I can definitely see one of those two guys being picked. If not here, sometime in this round, it'd be a surprise if they keep on falling. But I do believe the pick is in for the 45th overall selection. Hitman.
Yeah, guys, they're back in August, I think I held a goaltender competition, and I gave 3 donors to the top 3 finishers. I believe it was Hikau, and this guy I believe was number 2. So the Cleveland Hitmen will take Grouter with the 45th pick.
Leave another goaltender going. They're starting to lead again. Believe to that knowledge it was Hikau, Grouter, and Player 51, which I will say 2 of them are Boston Bullets. Glad to represent. But another great goaltender going to the Hitmen. It seems like they really want to get the head start on them. Make sure they're locked down back there.
I'm thinking Cleveland thinks that they've got their team locked in. Everything after is just gravy. Why not get your backup goalie in and get, who you imagine to be the best of the bunch?
I believe we have the next selection in for the Flamingos. I could definitely see them going for a more defensive-minded player after getting Perfetti, but I'd love to see where we go here.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Flamingos are going to go with another strong Ponce Pupper. They're going to select Bombay with pick number 46.
Well, there he finally gets picked. Bombay, a guy that I've spent a lot of time in the servers with. Guys, big goal scorer. He finds a way to get to the net and put pucks in the net. Do not let this guy get in on a breakaway because he will score on your 10D. It doesn't really matter who it is. He finds a way. Super frustrating to play against at times, and little surprising to see him go this far down. To be totally honest.
Yeah, definitely had him towards that upper end. Really would have thought he would go a little bit higher, but I think it's it'll be a great steal this late. I think he could even make his starting lineup for the Flamingos. If you could see a big Snoop and Bombay link up there. Well, I do believe the Reapers are coming in onto their selection, which is rounding out the round 6 after the Detroit. And I do believe the Carolina Reapers have their selection.
Yeah, with pick 47, the Carolina Reapers will be selecting Morgan.
Morgan. Been getting their name out a lot more recently with the Pugs and being in the voice calls. One of the late exceptions to the player pool, but a great selection nonetheless.
Yeah, big shout out to Morgan for dying for the cause yesterday. I couldn't get through the vent, but I really appreciate you getting me caught in Among Us. Really nice of you.
Looks like after that we have Venom on there back to back. I could easily see a Baggins pick here, and then either a Baggins or a Tension pick.
Tension is
with,
still on the
I'm a
board.
computer. That is one of the surprising picks to me. I don't know how he's not going.
I think they might actually end up going with maybe one skater pick, but then their backup goaltender as well. I think that would be a smart play considering how many skaters they already have.
Or does
Yeah,
Black
guys,
Fancy? Oh, sorry.
No worries. I think you guys mentioned this player in the 20s or so it kind of surprised me that they're still here. With pick 48, the Venom will select La Sauce.
Yes, another player that's been on this top of the list for a long time. Been a long time coming to get picked, and not surprised to see him get picked by the Venom. I do believe he could easily make his way into that starting lineup as well, and it will be a very, very strong team. Lots of depth in there.
Get their first pick of the 7th round, the Detroit Venom. I think they might actually go goaltender here for backup for Son, or they might end up taking off another top player on the list here, just to kind of add to the strength and numbers there that they already got.
Yeah, I think a smart pick here is to go for one of those flex goalies. Get someone like a Drake and be willing to play both goalie and defenseman. I think that can complement Blais as well. A lot of good potential peoples between the sticks. And now as we wait down the clock, edging up onto the 7th round here. Only 3 rounds left, total of 24 more selections to be made. A lot of potential left. Does look like that selection is in for the 49th overall to start off the 7th round.
The Detroit Venom will select I'm a Computer with number 49.
A Computer, another good player that's been dropping down. Not surprised to be seen taken here, but I am surprised to see Baggins' intention still on the board going into round 7. I think any team would be happy to select them and have them on their team. Not only as characters, but great skaters. Looks like the 50th selection to the Carolina Reapers is in. Curious to see where they go here after picking up Morgan. And they don't have their selection for another 10 round, 10 picks.
Yeah, the slide is going to be over here. The Carolina Reapers will select Tension at number 50.
There he goes. A great selection here.
Late to the game, but guy can score. So I don't know. It was a little surprising to see him kind of slip through. Again, maybe GMs know something that we don't. But seems to be somebody everybody's well aware of in the Ponce Puck community in terms of as a player. But yeah, finally off the board.
I'll be very interested to see where the Flamingos go here.
I mean, you still got all those guys available that we've been talking about. You know, you Baggins. You could go. I mean, do they need a backup goalie? Tampa Bay. I mean, there's
I think you
forwards
need
available.
to go defenseman here. You
So
have Dog obviously, and you have Noah Body. I don't know
well, you
if
don't have Noah Body, right?
You do.
Was not the swap, or am I confusing it?
It was Noah Body for
Yeah. So you don't have no pulled out.
Yes.
So
You only have Dog and Noah Body on the Flamingo.
Oh,
Those are
I'm
the only
sorry.
two defensemen.
Understood. I thought you were saying you'd know a body available. I was like, he's not available. He's listed on here, unfortunately. So just as a reminder for everybody, Noah Body no longer draft eligible. With pulling out of the draft, nobody is replacing him. So Draken actually the top available defenseman.
I would also be I'd be very surprised if Draken doesn't get selected soon here. I think not only is a good goaltender, but down below in the defensive line, right back up.
I mean,
And I
you could
do
get both
believe
if you go with him. You've got a Tendy and you've got a defenseman.
I do believe the selection is in for the Tampa Bay Flamingos.
Yeah, with pick 51 here, the Tampa Bay Flamingos will select Hokie.
Oki, another player who's been falling in my rankings, I think is a great pick. I am a little bit worried about back Dog or Noah can't make a game day, but I'm sure they have some sort of internal plan here. Next, we got the Cleveland Hitmen on the clock. Curious to see where they go. I could see a Spagan still being taken soon here. You got Gary climbing up Russ. They just got their backup goalie, so I think they might need a more offensive-minded player with one of those top three guys. You also got Chichu climbing up the ranks. Brandon Bagel coming up. Bransk, Ford, Critical, Xander, and Connor rounding out that top 10. And it looks like the selection is in for the 52nd overall.
Yeah, another slide here coming to an end. The Cleveland Hitmen will select Baggins at number 52.
I knew he was going to get picked. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, definitely will be some controversy spreading around. Maybe some sport books got in there, but I think it's nice to see him finally land and find a new home.
Had
in
19
Cleveland.
points for the Fungi in 23 games, so certainly somebody who can help your team score.
All right, it looks like the Otters will be back in their selection. I think after picking Butter Pecan, then Pastala, and then into Zuki, I think you might lead towards a more offensive-minded player here. Curious though if they might pick up their backup goalie here. That could also be a very good possibility.
I mean, you just grabbed Zuki to play D for you. It's. Would you not want to go forward if you're not going goalie? Or maybe you double up.
I think that's the idea. It looks like the Orlando Otters have selected their 53rd overall player.
Yeah, at number 53, the Orlando Otters will select Chichu.
Chichu, another player who's been falling a bit. Great point per game, and lovely guy to play with. I think it will be great that a great home that he found in Orlando.
What's his game? Do you know anything that you could tell us about him?
Bit of a more of an offensive skater, but I think he just does it all. Will be willing to fit in where you need him, and just a great role guy. So great between that team. Next up, we got Log with the Albuquerque Airbags on the clock. Interested to see where he goes. Could very well be backup goalies coming in. It looks like the selection is in. I believe Log will be doing the announcement for it. Welcome back in, Log.
You guys excited?
Very,
Well,
very.
This is
Get some energy
I
in here.
I just cannot believe this player fell this far. The chat's maybe gonna freak out. I don't know, but we at pick 54. It's 54, right? Somewhere around there.
Yep.
54th overall pick. We're picking Bucklinov.
Bucklinov, a great selection. Thank you.
The
I'd
other
love
go
to,
back.
love
Not a
to
lot of
see
games
him go.
played for Bucklinov here. Any you guys have any insight onto the player?
Yeah, to my knowledge, she's been around in Naples and obviously been showing out in the combines.
Interesting to see how he plays this season. Is he a flex or is he just a goaltender?
I believe goaltender heavy, but I think he can flex. Will be interesting to see.
It's such an
Obviously,
advantage to get a flex player who can play more than one position, especially if they can play goalie. I mean, it just limits, the necessity to pick somebody at backup that, otherwise couldn't really do anything for you.
looks like next up is the Kuskokwim Currents on the clock. Most likely a goaltender going here. Win one of these next two picks with them needing to still find their second one. It'd be if they waited till the second to last pick. I think Corny J still being here, Salty still being here, Draken, Kick, Swagger, all great goals that definitely can be stolen up here.
I think we got some great picks left here on the board for either team to pick up here in the 7th round. But looking at their team, I guess is their captain and goalie? Is that why they haven't picked one yet?
Yes, both the Currents and the Thunder Bay Frost are captained by goalies.
So maybe you're starting to look at this point then.
Yes, I say this is the smart area to look at goalies. I do believe the selection is in for the 55th overall pick to the Kuskokwim Currents.
With the 55th pick in the draft, the Kuskokwim Currents will select Gary.
Gary. Been making his name known around here in plenty of leagues, gets his game time in. Definitely a good prospect coming up.
Great highlight video to the song, excellent song, Gary Come Home. Really one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was definitely a masterpiece of a video, I'll say that.
Did he really make a montage with Gary Come Home?
Yeah, he sure did.
That's amazing.
Hopefully that gets around the Discord a lot more. I'm sure many people who haven't seen it would very much enjoy it. All right, next up we got the Thunder Bay Frost going on their back-to-back. Interested to see here whether, I assume one of them will be a goal. Curious to see where they go with their other selection.
If you are Troutman, you're probably pretty confident you're going to play as many games as possible, I would think. So maybe you're just waiting till the very end to get your backup and telling them, "Hey, listen, I'm starting. Okay, you'll play maybe occasionally, but I'm starting." So
It's
if that's
different.
the
I
case,
know
then
Trout's a very heavy, at least in his other league, the IAPL, he hasn't played a single game. He likes to sit back a lot more and let the others go. So I think it'd be interesting to see if he switches it up here. Obviously a great netminder he is. Just not sure how much time he wants to give himself. But I do believe the selection has been made for the 56th overall selection.
Yeah, at pick 56, the Thunder Bay Frost will select Cook.
Oh, wow.
Look, there's the backup goaltender.
So I'm assuming this is the same Cook that I know. I'm familiar with Cook. We were ex-teammates. We played together before, back in HQM. Actually, we were like 1A, 1B, I think, on the team we were on, and great guy, really easy teammate to get along with, and it was a different game back then. I haven't seen him in net where there's body collision, so I'm not sure how he is as a player, but certainly a good teammate. And when in HQM, he was a pretty good goalie too.
Definitely a great pick to back up the best half-fish goalie there is. I do believe the 57th overall selection is in, and I do believe Troutman will be coming in to make his selection. Grab him here. How's it going, Troutman?
Fish on. How we doing?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right.
Glad to hear. Well, feel free to give us the rundown on your 57th overall selection.
All right, 57th overall selection. I'm picking my good buddy, Super Xander.
Super Xander. One that I had going to Jamiroquai and a lot of mocks. Glad to see that you've picked up on him. Another great prospect that's been playing in the IAPL, getting a lot of practice time in there. One of the top point leaders over there. Great to see him go up here. I do believe the Currents are now back on the clock with the 58th overall selection. Interested to see if they go with their backup goalie. It does look like that selection is in for the Kuskokwim Currents.
Yeah, this guy's listed as a defense and goalie, so may very well be their backup. The Currents will select Draken at number 58.
There he goes. One of my favorite sleeper goalies that I've had the honor of playing with. Would have been one of my picks in the Premier. A great netminder that definitely fell further than I feel like he should.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, flex players so useful, especially down this far. Guys who can fill in wherever they're needed. One thing you'll notice now is that the board for your best available has started to fill up with more and more goaltenders. We have had so many goaltenders signing up from the beginning. I mean, even that first combine was almost 50% goalies, I think. So maybe it was a little less than that, but it was a plurality of goalies. So still so many good goalies available. It's unfortunate that some guys are going to miss out.
Yeah, I do believe that for that combine, the most position was goal, which made it challenging, and it's definitely challenging to get picked now with all these goalies. So
it's funny because in in the real world and real hockey, it's certainly the opposite.
most definitely. It looks like now we have the Airbags back on the clock with their second to last pick. After picking up their backup netminder, be curious to see where they go here. Obviously, there's still Resp on the board. And you got Brandon Bagel, you got Bransk. Bransk has been falling to too much from what I've been hearing, so interested to see where he goes.
They make us wait out the whole clock.
Yep, and there it is. Pick has been forfeited. The selection has been made for the Albuquerque airbag.
Yeah, at pick 59, the Albuquerque Airbags will select Ford.
Ford, another player who's been high up in those rankings. Definitely fell a bit further than we would have liked, but still a great underrated pick for the airbags here.
All right, Orlando on the board. I mean, where do you go from here? We're really, starting to get towards the end here of this second to last round. I mean, there's still some pretty good names on the board. It's unfortunate how many good goalies are still up there. Who still needs a goaltender?
Yeah, speaking of, I think this is where the Otters go with the goalie. I think get your backup here. I mean, Corny J, Salty, Kicks, them even being called a backup is criminal. I think it's be very surprising if a goaltender does not get picked here. I think that these guys are just way too talented to be passed up on. It doesn't look like we'll have to wait much longer as the pick has been submitted.
Yeah, I have quite the story I tell people every time I mention this guy. It was a 3v3 game and a solo goalie. He was the single goalie. They're going to go goalie here. And he made, I think, 30 saves in a 2-1 overtime game. I think it was multiple overtime. Nobody could score before shootouts were even a thing. At number 60, the Orlando Otters select Salty.
Yeah, no surprise to me. Salty goes. He's somebody I've played with and against a bunch, and it's as you said, it's really crazy how some of these guys won't be able to start. Again, a good goalie can make saves, make plays, or not plays, sorry, but make saves and keep you in the game.
Definitely is a great pick here. I mean, I could see Salty and Otto going head to head for that starting spot. Both great prospects and players. Definitely be surprised to see that competition there. Would love to see who they end up starting in that first game week.
The question I have is, will we get to a point, obviously coming up on the 9th round here, you think every team goes 2 goalies, or do you think somebody might take a shot on a third goalie?
That's tough. I think the only way you go with a third goalie is that 2 of them are flex. At least one of them. I don't think you can put all your eggs into 3 goalies. It's a little bit risky, but definitely those flex guys.
I'd agree. It's just the rosters are probably too shallow to allow it. But I mean, if your best player available is a goalie, and you really don't see yourself adding much any other way. I mean, the only teams that I could really see doing it. I mean, anybody do it? I guess if you're talking about a guy like Draken, where you're adding a defenseman as well, your flex players make sense. But yeah, I think you're right that probably are grabbing your backup and you're happy with that.
Yeah, I believe Swagger is one of those. That's also a flex. He's been getting his name out there. But I do believe the selection has been made for the Cleveland Hitmen at 61st overall.
At number 61, the Cleveland Hitmen will select Neko.
Another PPHL staff member, along with Lunar, getting drafted. Love to see it.
I mean, 57 goals under 100 games. It's this is not the longest or the largest sample size, but the numbers are not bad for, especially for a defenseman.
It's like now we got the Flamingos back on the clock. Looks like they'll need a backup netminder and some more defensive presence here.
Well, then you got Corny J sitting right there. Is that your guy, or do you look at kicks?
I think Dog here would go Corny. I think that's a very good pick here. Looks like we won't wait much longer to figure out where they go, as they have submitted their selection.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Flamingos are going to take your number one goaltender off the board here. They'll select Corny J at 62nd.
Makes sense. Definitely a great 1-2 punch with Lunar and Corny. Definitely, once again, interested to see who they end up starting. I think that could be a great goalie.
Yeah, I've seen Corny J on the server, and again, the talent pool for goalies is really really heavy. So, unfortunate again, another person who could surely start in this league, but there's just no room.
It's like next up with the Carolina Reapers, getting towards the end of the 8th round, coming up on our team's second to last picks here. One last wraparound.
While we're waiting, let's take a look at these rosters. There's obviously these are getting right towards the end here, but we can kind of get a pretty good look at what everybody's starting lineup will be, and obviously which teams have, some of these teams have a starting goalie, and then some of them seem to have more of like a 1A, 1B kind of option. Who on here stands out to you in terms of the goaltenders? Obviously, Farf was your first overall selection. Is there somebody you think that slots into their team really well, and that other than Farf would stand out to you as somebody to watch for this season?
I mean, Sun once again was up there in my rankings. I think he'll be great there with the Venom, especially with how good of a team they have. I could very well see them being the lead. It's definitely one of the teams that I'd watch out for. I do believe the selection is in for the Carolina Reapers.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought my mic was not muted. At the 63rd pick, the Carolina Reapers will select Pixel Hunts.
And there goes Pixel. Might have fell one more spot. I think Bled was hoping that he'd go to Detroit, but there he goes. Another great player that's definitely solid at the back. A good backup to Earboy and CN. I think that'll be another great team to keep an eye on. It's like now we're rounding out the 8th round with Venom's second to last pick, and then into the very last round, round 9.
Resp's still on the board there as well. Kind of, if I remember correctly, he's fallen quite a ways.
Yeah, definitely could see him getting picked here soon. Would be surprised if he falls.
Well, there's only so many picks left. We've got 9 selections left in the draft tonight. Coming up on that final round, as we're just waiting here for Detroit's final selection in the 8th round, and then obviously they'll take us into the final 9th round.
Take that final selection, second last selection for the Venom, with the final one for round 8 has been made.
Yeah, with pick 64, the Venom will take Fluff, and their 65th is ready to go whenever you guys are good.
Fluff, another skater.
Well, 13 games played for Fluff for the Salem, and at a 131 points per game. The numbers are pretty good there. Not sure what the player will look like in the Challenger League, but looking just across the board there, looks like a pretty solid pickup for the Venom.
Mm-hmm. Now, very curious to see whether with their last pick in round 9 they go with another goaltender, or if Bleh feels confident enough that they'll be holding down the net.
I'm gonna guess they do not. That's my gamble.
I'd assume so as well, but it does hurt for all the leftover goaltenders out there. And that selection has been made for number 65.
Yeah, at number 65, to round out their draft, the Venom will take Brantsk.
Brantsk, another player that's been falling down.
I mean, that's a really good pick. Honestly, Bransk is a really good player. That was definitely a sleeper pick there by Bleh. So, and that's it for Detroit. Yeah, they got all their players.
Yep, Detroit has completed their draft for this season. Grabbing Brant's point per game for the Florida Flamingos, not to be confused with the Tampa Bay Flamingos, the superior PPHL. No, I'm just kidding. But again, looking across the board, similar point per game numbers in the Ponce Puck servers as well. So, another offensive piece added, and it's interesting because there's guys up and down your draft sheet that have numbers just like this, and you would think, yeah, surely they're going to get to start on a team. They're point per game player everywhere they go, and hey, here we are in the 9th round, and somebody like this just gets drafted.
Definitely some sleepers. Looks like that the last selection for the Carolina Reapers has been made.
Yeah, to round out their team, they will take Swagger, 66th overall.
It looks like they might be going down the route that you've been talking about with a Swagger. I will say he has been playing more skater as of recently, but definitely a flexible goaltender as well.
Well, like I said, if your best player available is a goalie, or you're concerned about the availability of your backup, now you've got a third goalie who could step in. Maybe you just want to give them a shot and see what they're all about. I don't see anything wrong with it, especially if you're confident in the attendance of your starting lineup and maybe one backup. If you've got those guys locked in and they're going to be there, then yeah, why not take a shot at another goalie? It can't hurt as long as your attendance is good. Only 9 games played on the on the Ponce Puck servers, though. But a pretty small sample size to really talk about the numbers.
Yeah, we will have to keep an eye out for him. Now it looks like the Tampa Bay Flamingos have made their final selection. Curious to see where they go with this. I'd have to assume a more defensive-minded player here.
Yeah, with pick 67, the Flamingos will take Slippery Nod.
Slippery. They do go more defensive-sided, which is a great selection here. With a backup to both Dog and Noah. Be very interchangeable.
If I'm drafting here, I'm in the 9th round. Got what my team pretty much I wanted to look like built out. I'm looking to take a swing for the fences. I'm looking through the draft sheet. There's gonna be a guy in there that either maybe he doesn't have like a high amount of games played, but is putting up a ton of points, or B, you're looking at somebody like who you think maybe is primed for a breakout, somebody you've been watching or playing with, and you've noticed that they're really close to putting up points and they just haven't figured it out yet. I'm looking at your best available, and I'm noticing that your Brandon Bagel is still sitting there, point per game player in the Ponce Puck servers. Any reason why you think he hasn't gone yet?
Sure, maybe just hasn't gotten his name out as much. One of those things. Definitely a big thing that you gotta do as a player.
Looking up there, you still got some other good names, Critical, Anzor. I mean, any of these players could be drafted by the Cleveland Hitmen. I mean, they've got their team kind of set now. They're just looking for someone that had the icing on top, the cherry. They're looking for a cherry in the list of players here, so.
Does look like the Hitmen know who they will be selecting with the 68th overall pick.
Yeah, to round out their team, the Cleveland Hitmen will take Critical, pick 68.
Another great player that's been having issues with his PC as of recent.
You mentioned
he will be getting
Critical.
fixed.
You mentioned Critical, Pike. Any insight on him?
I think he's, given he doesn't have any hardware issues, I think he's a really good player and definitely someone that you can pass the puck to and he'll receive it, take it up ice, and give it right back to you for an open shot on ice. So I think that was a really good pickup there by the Cleveland Hitmen, really to round out the rest of their team. I mean, looking at their team, they got a lot of players who really know how to skate around the ice with the puck on their stick and not really give it away. So I'm excited to see Critical join that team, and they rounded out their lineup. So hopefully they do good this season with who they got on their bench.
I definitely think this is one of those you take a stab at it and just hope he gets his situation working and can play enough games. If that works out, he will be a sleeper of a pick for sure. But I do believe the selection is ready, and I'm pretty sure that the manager Jimmy Rokai will be coming in. Welcome back, Jimmy Rokai.
Yo.
Love to hear that you have made your final selection. How have you felt about your team?
You know what? I'm pretty happy. I'm sure that Dog isn't going to be happy with me, but it's okay. I mean, you get it. It happens. Either way, with my last pick in the Ponce Puck Hockey League Challenger Draft, I would like to take the ever reliable RD Gamer.
RD, another goaltender. Thank you.
All right,
it's great to see another one go off the boards. I know that Jimmy Rokai and RD have with their play time in the IAPL. Not surprised to see this pick here.
Yeah, I mean, RD Gamer, I've seen him play. We saw him in the combines, and I think he did really well. Not surprised to see him getting picked up here for a challenger division, and I think he can be one of the up and coming puck players to keep an eye on here in the PPHL.
Yeah, last time I checked the signups, I saw he only had around 20 hours played. So, especially after playing some more league experience, I think he could improve a lot more.
Yeah, I think that's what the challenger division really is going to do here for a lot of these players drafted in the later rounds, is give them the opportunity to get some more time in the ice, improve playing a team setting, and then come next season they're going to be veteran players, and it definitely go higher up in the picks for sure.
It does look like the selection is in for the airbags, which I do believe Log will be coming in to announce himself. Welcome back in, Log.
Yo, yo. There's an ad
How,
if you wait out the ad. It's a Skippy's creamy peanut butter. I mean, stuff's good, but yeah.
Very good. Okay. How have you been feeling about your team so far?
We feel great, man. This team, some players like fell to crazy spots, and we got them. This is sick.
Hope to
First
hear
round
it.
was credit to the other captains. They made very good picks in the first round, and I was definitely, moving around my plan a lot for the draft, it being the last pick in that round. But after that, I mean, this is looking awesome, and we're super excited to get playing. So,
Hope to hear it. Whenever you're ready.
all right, yeah, with the 70th overall pick, it's our final pick of the draft for our team. Guy's been in the Twitch chat glazing me all day. I never knew who he was on Twitch until recently, and he's my homie. He's going to be great here. At 70th overall, we're picking White House Tech.
White House Tech. Great selection. Lots of players left to go. We'll see with our last two selections coming in between the two goalie captains. I'd love to take one last look at those best available players and see who's around and who we might be looking at here. I feel like both teams are fine with their goaltenders, so might look towards a Resp pick here, a Connor, a Mac Pylon. There's Bazuki at the bottom getting his games in. Squid, another pub guy. Brandon Bagel been falling a lot. Lots of picks left to be made.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the names on the board here, a lot of great names. Grantosaurus, Nobody. You got Rusp as well, sitting up there in the number one overall spot. If we want to go look at the offensive choices here for the remaining players, you've got Aaron, who's been playing puck for a little bit. You got to be honest, I looked at all these other names and I haven't played with any of them. So outside of Aaron and Resp, Bazuki, I've seen on the ice as well. Great forward, little quick passes inside the zone. But really, I think at this point, captains know who's left, and the remaining two picks, they've probably are deciding between one or two players, and they just got to pull the trigger on one. So hopefully these picks for them are clutch picks and pan out well for them.
It looks like we have our final selection coming in here for the Kuskokwim Currents.
With the second to last pick, the Currents will select Playoff Book.
Playoff Buck. Another good skater that's been getting his name out in those comps. Very important to attend to have some managers see you. Just like a lot of goalies still left on the board. Anzo been around, part of production team. You got Kicks, a great goaltender as well. Got Meeb, Ottinger, Jocelyn, Skinner been coming up recently, trying to get his hours in. A lot of names left, so curious to see where Trout goes here, whether he goes their goaltender, tends to want to sit back this season, or whether he rounds out with one more skater. It does look like the final pick for the first inaugural Challenger PPHL draft has been submitted.
Yeah, the final pick is in. So the spiritual Mr. Irrelevant for this draft to the Thunder Bay Frost, they will select Kicks.
Kicks, a great goaltender. And you can just tell off those stats right there what a good steal that is. And he has been titled our Challenger Mr. Irrelevant as the premier. Two great guys.
Yeah, I mean these players that got drafted tonight, I mean, great choices all around. I'm excited to see what is gonna unfold this season. You know, the managers made their selections, they chose their path, and the future of the Challenger division is officially underway. In a sense, the draft is over. These are the players, so I'm excited for the journey to greatness for one of these teams to stand on top of them all.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these teams and really excited.
A lot of good players here. Once again, all those undrafted still have the chance to hit some tryouts and make their names known as a free agent, get picked up. Plenty still possible here.
It's just like teams. I mean, my money, if I was a betting man, my money looking at these teams for great lineup: Albuquerque Airbags, Carolina Reapers, the Cleveland Hitmen definitely have a tight squad. But I mean, looking at the other teams, Detroit Venom, Tampa Bay Flamingos, I mean, they just got depth in their lineup. Looking at Thunder Bay Frost, and you know, still can't say that name, but those are definitely going to be the teams to keep an eye out and see if they can't snitch some big W's from the other teams in this league. So
Yeah, definitely a lot of good players here. I still heavily leaning towards the Venom here, and the Airbags is two of those top teams for sure. I think a good underdog could be those Flamingos. I think they might have the best starting overall chemistry. Be very curious to see off that first couple of game weeks to see what happens.
yeah, I can take us out. Give me a second, guys. So let's see here. I had it up here. All right. The selections have been made. The paths have been chosen. The future of the Challenger division is officially past its point of no return. Tonight's draft may be over, but the journey is just beginning. Let's get out on the ice and let's see who can score the most goals, save the most shots, and end up on top at the end of the season. This is the PPHL Challenger Division Drafts, and I hope everyone has a good night.